When I married Laura, I thought I knew her world. I knew her smile, her quirks, her laugh, but I didn't really know her colleagues or the subtle politics of her workplace. She always tried to downplay it, saying her coworkers were harmless, just a bunch of playful jokers who liked to tease. I believed her, until the night of her office party. It started innocently enough. The invitation was clear: dinner, drinks, and a little celebration for the company's yearly milestones. I dressed sharply, trying to make a good impression on her coworkers. Laura looked stunning in her dress, and I smiled, genuinely proud to be by her side. But from the moment we walked in, I could feel the eyes on me, assessing, measuring, judging. It wasn't long before one of her coworkers, a guy named Eric, decided to make his move. At first, it was subtle, a hand on Laura's shoulder, a joke aimed at undermining me. But soon, it became obvious. He was trying to assert dominance, showing off like he owned the room. And worse, like he owned Laura. I tried to ignore it, thinking maybe Laura would handle him. She didn't. In fact, she laughed nervously, avoiding any confrontation. Eric leaned in one too many times and said, loud enough for the group to hear, "Not sure why Laura's even here with him. You sure you belong in her world?" His smirk was meant to humiliate me, to make me look small in front of everyone. My blood boiled, but I stayed calm, because he didn't know one crucial thing: who I really was. I excused myself briefly, went to the corner of the room, and pulled out my phone. A few quick calls later, some subtle messages sent, and I returned with a confident smile. Eric's grin faltered when he saw me walk back, calm, collected, and seemingly unaffected. As the night went on, I subtly turned the tables. Every time Eric tried to show off, I quietly revealed my own accomplishments, not in a boastful way, but just enough for the right people to notice. My business ventures, my contacts in the industry, my influence, it wasn't the kind of wealth or power you flaunt, but it was enough to make Eric's arrogance look foolish. By the end of the evening, people were asking him questions about me, curious and impressed. Then came the moment Eric made his boldest move. He tried to corner Laura, laughing, "Don't worry, I'll show him how the real world works." He thought he was clever. I smiled, stepped in, and introduced myself properly to the group, dropping my full name and a brief mention of my professional achievements. The room went quiet. Eric's jaw literally dropped. He had been mocking me all night without realizing that I wasn't just Laura's husband. I was someone with influence, connections, and power he hadn't anticipated. And Laura, she looked at me differently than she had all night, pride shining in her eyes. Eric tried to recover, but the damage was done. His jokes fell flat, and by the end of the night, the dynamic had shifted completely. People who had been laughing at me now admired me quietly, some even whispering to each other about how underestimated I'd been. On the drive home, Laura squeezed my hand. I didn't know," she said softly. "You didn't have to prove anything." I smiled and replied, "Sometimes love isn't enough if people don't know your worth." Tonight was just a little reminder. That night, I realized something important. People will try to mess with you when they think you're beneath them. The key isn't to fight or yell, it's to stay calm, let your true self show, and let them stumble over their own assumptions. Eric learned that the hard way, and I walked away respected, with Laura's admiration and my own confidence stronger than ever.